Deep down inside, if I search my heart, this would be my favorite. A really good drugstore dupe MLBB shade. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is the end of 2020. To celebrate that, I have came up with a whole roundup of the best products of 2020, and today we're talking about makeup. I'm also going to be doing another video for skincare alone, so do remember to check back for that if you're interested to find out what are my best skincare products. To the best of my ability, I'm going to try to limit it to 1 to 2 products. 2 if I really feel like they are both really good and if they're of super different price points, so that I can help you guys out for those of you who are looking for a more affordable or a more luxurious price point. Let's start with best primer, which is none. I think for the whole of 2020, I didn't really go out that much, and even when I did go out, like I usually have to wear a mask. So yeah, I felt like primers were extremely unnecessary. I just didn't use them. I don't really have any to recommend you guys. Next, let's talk about best foundation. So for foundations this year, I am gonna be talking about these two. First is the Burberry Matte Glow Foundation, and I also have the Face Shop Ink Lasting Foundation, which is also my favorite of 2019. Let's first start with the newcomer, the Burberry Makeup Matte Glow Foundation. I really love this foundation because this is extremely handy whenever you have to wear a mask, because you want to minimize as much transfer to your mask as much as possible. But most of the time when it comes to very long-lasting foundations, they are more towards the matte side. And for dry skin people like me, just not pretty like to have very matte foundation on dry skin, because you see the cracks, you see the creases, you feel uncomfortable. So this is actually really good at both having a nice soft matte finish, which means it's not extremely matte, and it also still has this tiny little natural glow that really gives you that healthy skin look. All at the same time, waterproof, long wearing, full coverage as well. And there are also a whole ton of shades. Even though it is expensive, but this entire bottle is very weighty. It's also quite a generous amount. It is 30 ml, so a little goes a very long way. I'm gonna talk about my Face Shop Ink Lasting Foundation. Again, this is my 3rd bottle, I believe. I love this because it has a nice matte finish. I feel like both of them are very similar in terms of the finishes and how it wears throughout the day, but this one is slightly more watery. So I would imagine this to be better for people with drier skin types. This one is very affordable. You can find it at the Face Shop for less than $35. A whole bottle like this actually lasts you super long. It's also 30 ml. The only downside is that they don't really have a lot of shades. It does oxidize a little bit, so I would recommend you guys to get your shade match at the shop. Yeah, highly recommend it. Long wearing, quite waterproof as well, and it gives you a super flawless finish. Concealer. I think you guys already know I'm going to be talking about the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in other years' favorites as well, but throughout this video you'll be seeing a lot of the products that I repeat like 1,000 times because I use them in my makeup tutorials, I use them in my Get Ready With Me's, you see them in my monthly favorites, and that is why they have made it to this list. I love it because it is very thin in texture, but the coverage is medium to buildable full. So it is a very good concealer that does very well not only for dark eye circles but for blemishes and acne as well. So I highly recommend it. It's also really slim, so it doesn't take up a lot of space in your bag. Plus, it comes with a nice doe foot applicator like this, so it is very nice and precise. Nothing to complain about it. A lot of different shades available, and I usually use the shade Vanilla or Custard. Now let's talk about cushions. So this one, I actually already finished this. This is the Abib Hydration Cushion Compact Skin Shield. I know I finished it super fast because I love it so much. This one gives me a perfect glass skin look. At the same time, it is medium to full coverage. It's very buildable. You don't see the kick. It's also very long lasting and it has very high SPF. And there are 3 different shades available. Unfortunately, the shade range is not great as with most Korean beauty based products. So I highly recommend this for people who are looking to create that very nice natural dewy skin. And at the same time, because it's long wearing, I find it so much easier to touch up throughout the day with this rather than a super matte foundation, because once it's very matte, you try to add products over it or you try to shift the product around, it is very difficult to move and it will tend to cake So this one doesn't give me this problem and I highly recommend it. Now for powder, so this is the Decorte Marcel Wonders limited edition powder. You can't get it anymore, unfortunately, but Decorte makes really good powders. It's extremely fine. It soaks up all of the excess oils. It makes your face look so flawless and polished, but without adding more weight or adding more powdery finish to your skin. It just maintains that very nice three-dimensional look of your face and it's not too flat. At the same time, your skin doesn't feel overly dry. You don't see dry patches. It's just awesome. For brows, I have the XL Powder and Pencil Eyebrow. This one is actually a really good drugstore dupe, I feel, for the Estee Lauder brow styler. This one actually comes with a powder side, also comes with a pencil side, as well as a spoolie. So it's a 3-in-1 kind of product. You can create so many different brow looks with it. If you have a lot of brow hairs, you just want something to fill up the gaps very easily, just use the powder and then go with the pencil to just sharpen the edges and just define it. XL Cosmetics, I feel like this one is their best makeup product that they have ever produced. It's very comparable to a lot of high-end ones that I've used, even better sometimes. And right now I'm using the shade PD01. Next up, let's talk about brow gel. So if you're a fan of that feathered brow look, Sunnies Face Lifebrow is so good. I mean, I only discovered this in October, I believe, so it hasn't been a long time, but honestly, it is a very good product. Once I used it for the first time, I knew that this was gonna come in to this video. This one has a very small and tiny wand that gives you very precise coating, and it also allows you to really just go into the smallest, straightest, most stubborn brow hairs and just stick them straight up. For some reason, it has a very nice defining effect, so it helps to stick your brow hairs together in a very natural way, and it actually lasts throughout the day. Unfortunately, if you're looking for something that can change the shape of your brow hairs, this one doesn't provide much pigmentation, but I really love it for its staying power and how it gives me that feathered brow look very easily without spending much money. You can get this in Lazada. Now let's talk about eyeshadow. Y'all already know I'm gonna talk about these two lah. ETUDE makes really good eyeshadow palettes. Number one, aesthetics on point. Number two, they are also really affordable, very accessible. I chose two because I feel like they are completely different, but I like them both and I use them all the time. This one is the ETUDE Play Color Eyes Maple Road. It's slightly more towards a warmer skin tone color, and I really like how the colors are very autumny. The pigmentation is also really good, plus it's small and compact. And this one is the ETUDE Rose Wine Play Color Eyes. So this one is in a more longish shape. It's a bit different. So it comes with a mirror and there are 10 different shades instead of 9, and it's more towards the rose gold, rosy pinks kind of color. Love the variety of shades that it comes with. You not only have mattes, you have satins, and you have big chunks of glitter. With one palette, I can come up with so many different looks and they're not expensive. Eyeliner! This is the Benefit Roller Liner. Specifically, I really like the mini version. I really love number one, the size, number two, the price, number three, the quality. It is one swipe, you get full opacity. It's also really nice and long. It's a felt tip liner, so you don't have the stress of, like, you know, when you close the cap, right, you fray out the brushes. At the same time, you know, it feels like you're just using a marker, something that everyone is like very used to. And because it's very long, the tip, it gives you a lot of control and you can flick out your wings super easily without having to go in 2 or 3 times. So this one also lasts all day. It's also not difficult to remove, which is perfect. Mascara, we have Clinique Lash Power Mascara. This one is so underrated. I mean, I use this until like the words are completely gone from the bottle. This one is the best lower lash mascara that I've ever tried because the wand is so thin. It's also really small. You can go into your lower lashes without actually like touching the rest of your eyes. At the same time, it holds the curls very well. It also lengthens without giving too much clump. So this one is the best of all worlds for me. I find that it also works very, very well with my Kate Tokyo Lash Primer. Those two together gives me one of the best results when it comes to my eyelashes. For blush, I have two. I know I'm cheating a little bit here because both of them are kind of the same price points and so, but the shades are very different, okay? First one, of course, my Clinique Cheek Pop. If I have to choose one shade, it would have to be Peach Pop because I feel like this color works well with both cool tones or warm tones. A very versatile blush that I like to go for whenever I want that very sunshiny kind of color. I'm wearing it today. It's a nice coral color. It's quite a refreshing pop on my cheeks. And I love Clinique Cheek Pop because the shades are so flattering on so many different skin tones. Good quality, not too expensive. A lot of shades to choose from. This one is my NARS powder blush and I'm talking about the shade Behave. So I haven't come across a blush color that looks like this. I feel like it looks in between a bronzer, a blusher. It's a nude brown mauve shade. It's a very MLBB shade for your cheeks. So I like to use this shade especially on days where I go for very heavy eye makeup because using this blush would not take the attention from your eyes or from your lips if you're wearing a very bold lip. I feel like if I have to close my eyes and take a blusher without having to care about what I'm wearing, what kind of lip color I'm wearing, it will be this blush. Contour, you guys know, Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. Most of the time I use this because it is very nice and flat. It comes with a big mirror and it comes with a really nice highlight as well. If I have to only bring one product in my bag to touch up on the go, it will always be this. The color is a perfect shade of contour for me, so it's not too warm, it's not too cool, it's not muddy, and the quality of Charlotte Tilbury products, they're all extremely good, very easy to blend. They work very well on a lot of different skin tones. I don't get a very dirty look with my contour, especially if I'm contouring my nose area where it needs to be super precise and nicely blended. Highlighter, Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo. This one is in Mean Money and Hustler Baby. I know I am talking about this for like the 1000th time as well, but I kind of broke it, like one side of it, but I highly recommend this. It's kind of subtle if you go for Mean Money. Mean Money is more of like a sheen highlighter, so you can apply it all across your face. But if you want that pop of shine, that's when I will go in with Hustler Baby, and that really elevates the entire look. And the best thing is just a little bit goes such a long way. I've had this for like, I think 1.5 years now. I use it like super often, but I haven't made a dent on this at all, and I still can see the Fenty Beauty logo, so yeah. Next up, for lips, I have 2 lip options over here. So let's talk about the first one, PERA Ink Matte Blur Tint. So this one is more of like a velvet finish. I wouldn't say it's a tint because it doesn't really stain your lips. It is also transferable, so it's not extremely smudge proof, but I really love the texture of this because it just blurs out my lip lines, and you guys know I've got very dry lips, so this texture just really helps to smooth it all out, and my favorite shade is number 8. When I was thinking of like my best lipstick of 2020, I really couldn't make up my mind because I really like so many lipsticks. What made me choose this was how I realized that every time I change from bags to bag, this is something that always followed me from bag to bag to bag. So that's when I know that deep down inside, if I search my heart, this would be my favorite. Okay, now let's talk about matte lipsticks. This is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. It's one of the most budge-proof lipsticks ever. A lot of the times, I try to remove it with like oil, micellar cleansers and whatnot, and I still can't get rid of all of it. But of course, with matte lipsticks, you also have downsides to it looking crusty, it looking very drying on your lips. I do still use this a lot. I just use it in a very thin layer so that I don't get that crusty look. This one is in the shade 170 Initiator. It has a nice, cooler pink tone to it, like compared to my 08 from PERA. It's slightly more cool tone, so whenever I wear things like blues or I wear this kind of like purplish kind of shades, this is the lip color that I go for. And the best thing is, it does not transfer. It lasts all day. Even if you wear a mask, it does not transfer onto your mask. Alright, so that is the end of my best of 2020 makeup video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know what are some of the makeup products that you love throughout the entire year so I can go and try them out. When it comes to like recommendations, right, I also take a lot of inspiration from the people around me. Most of the time they'll go like, oh, have you tried this? It's super good. That's when I will buy and my life will change forever. Yeah, please help me out over here. Let me know in the comments box down below and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!